USA.
All
USA.
right, we are live. Let's go. Big game tonight, right, Pat? Happy to be
Let's
back
go.
on live stream, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to do these previews. I think the last time we did it, pretty superstitious, right? I got my hot tamales later before the game. Nice little candy. Doing the
Ooh,
live
okay.
stream, the pregame, Austin. We had a pretty good run second half against Honduras, so hoping for a similar result, but not as much of a heart attack as the first
Yeah, definitely a quicker start in this game, right? That's the hope, at least. And yeah, no, it's great. I love doing these live shows, right? Like we did our first live report on Monday, and that was so much fun. So we're happy to be back again, and hanging out with you guys and answering some questions, looking ahead to the game that's coming up, the whole window, right? We've got some important games here, Pat, this window, and some guys that aren't available, so we're gonna have to kind of pick up the slack for that. And yeah, it's just a fun time, right?
Yeah,
Fun to
yeah,
be
it is a
watching
fun time.
qualifiers.
It's just a fun. It just feels awesome too because it's that second time round. Feel not as nervous, more kind of excited, right? And obviously we'll get into it down the line with Jamaica and their kind of issues and injuries and omissions and things like that. But just the environment, Austin, right? There's Marcus. What's going on? But just the environment, right? In Austin, it just seems like it's just going to be a great future place for maybe other U.S. games and just the atmosphere and the new team and the verticality of the stadium that
Right?
we were kind of joking about. But yeah, something just feels magical in Texas for the U.S. And I think we're going to get some great results. So what's your take on the QTU stadium and just kind of things leading up to the game here?
Yeah, I mean, the stadium looks awesome, right? Like Austin's done a really good job, promoting their team, building their brand, and obviously building their stadium. So it sounds like a really cool venue that could be, pretty beneficial for us going forward in World Cup qualifying. And yeah, I think going into this game, right, like we're in pretty good spirits. Our players are coming off highs with their club teams. We had that, great finish to the window versus Honduras. So I feel like spirits are good going into this game, Pat. I feel like
Yeah.
we're kind of flying under the radar, so to speak. Not as much fanfare as last window, maybe, but I think that's a
Speaking
good
of
thing.
that, just with kind of returns, right? Weston McKennie already,
Yeah.
all just said back in the lineup. So wanted to kind of get your take on that and all the fans too. But obviously, it looks like he's still got to earn the trust back and things like that, right? But he's right back into the lineup.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision. I think, having that whole camp situation from last time linger could have just been a really distracting, thing this camp. And also, with the injuries we have, the depth is I guess, still not there, right? Like we need our star players on the field to qualify for the World Cup. So I honestly think Greg Berhalter handled this situation pretty well. I agree that he should have sent Weston McKennie home last camp. I think he
Yeah, I
needed to
agree
send
as
a
well.
message and make a statement. And, let's hope that, Weston McKennie learned his lesson, doesn't do that again. And, we can move on from this and have a successful window because he's going to be really important this window. So, yeah, I think it's a good decision by Greg.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He did actually handle that well. And while we might criticize him for lineups and call ups and a very small overall, camp here, there's a lot of things, right, that Berhalter has been in the hot seat for. But you could say some of his man
Justified
management,
sometimes.
some of the locker room
Yeah.
and just kind of how he's handling this situation. I don't know. I just get a good vibe or feeling from him, whether it's the press conferences or how he handled this, right? He seems like those aspects, right? The communication and the leadership, I think he handled it very well.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know. I don't want to belabor the point because I do think
Yeah.
there is some things that he could do better, right? Like I'm not sitting here trying to say he's a 10 out of 10 in terms of coaches and what
No,
he brings to our team, but
not that
I
kind
do
of show.
think he's done some good things. And yeah, I think we'll kind of see how this camp goes. Hopefully we get off to a good start. Get these hopefully 9 points, right, Pat? That's the goal of this camp. I know we talked about that, last episode when the roster came out, talking about how many points we should expect to win from this camp. And, I think we both said 9 points, right? 9 points is what we want to take. I think we said we'd be happy with maybe 7 if we got a draw in Panama, since it's a tough environment. But tonight we need to get, those 3 points and start off strong.
Yeah, definitely. And again, more to come too with those games, and I think just starting off hot here against Jamaica at home, in Austin here. There's no excuses for a win here, and I was just reading Marcus's point there. There is no reason why we don't get 9. I think obviously I'd be upset, but if I had to pick maybe something going awry, right, or just issues there, I would say the Panama game most likely, or not most likely, right, but a chance of a draw, right. But we have to take the win, especially here and against Costa Rica. I mean, we'll get into that more, the Costa Rica down the line, right, Austin? But
oh yeah,
there's no reason with Jamaica's situations, the players that they're missing, injuries, other issues, right? This should be a pretty comfortable win.
Yeah, and that's the big thing I think we'll get to here in a little bit. Jamaica's banged up. They don't have some of their star players. They don't have definitely the depth that we have. So we got to capitalize on that, right? Like, we have some depth now. We have players who can fill in for our injured players. And we have difference makers. So I see, Pat, the lineup is out now. So
okay.
Maybe we should pivot to that. I know we were going to wait a little bit, but it's out now. So I feel like this will be a good time to go to it. So do you want to name the players, Pat? And then, we can talk a little bit about each player. And there's some good choices here.
All right. Yeah.
Also some interesting ones, but some good ones too.
Back, like, right? You say that. Matt Turner, goalkeeper. I'm okay with that. I mean, he's earned the starts. He's getting great game time for club and has looked fantastic in a U.S. men's national team jersey. So no issue there. Reading the rest of the lines, right? Serginho Dest, obviously looks
Love
like
it.
he's
Back from
spot, right?
From injury, yeah.
Injury there, yep. Walker Zimmerman getting the start. So that's kind of interesting to me. Miles Robinson as well. So that pairing, and then you have on the left there, looks like Anthony Robinson. So happy about that. But what do you think about Zimmerman?
Yeah, interesting. Player that was called up last window, didn't get to play at all, which was a little strange to me. And then obviously was, the injury replacement here. So definitely a curious decision that he's, right into the starting lineup. But I really think that's just because he's, the most experienced defender on our roster right now. When we were looking at this before, we went live here, you literally have Chris Richards and Mark McKenzie as the 2 other options. Obviously, we'd love to see Chris Richards, right? We basically said that, on our last few episodes, we'd love to see that Richards Robinson partnership, just because of, what it can offer going forward. And then also, the strength that it can offer at the back. But yeah, I don't mind it. I think Walker Zimmerman's very capable against a team like this. That's going to be a little bit more physical. I think he's, a solid option. So.
Definitely. And Samuel, morning from Hong Kong. That's a ways away.
Wow, there you go.
Awesome to see you tune in.
Yeah, welcome, Sam.
Yeah, welcome. And like Austin, you said, and Sam said about Walker, surprising. But then I guess when I'm thinking of Berhalter and what he's done, I'm almost not surprised too at the same time. True. He just has some wild cards in there, and I feel like we just have to expect it, unfortunately, at this point. But yeah, I think Richards would have been great. And not to delay, right? I have to finish the rest of the lineup here, also. I got a little off track, but Tyler Adams, captaining the team there. It'll be great to see him, right? Not in that outside back role.
True. Yeah.
We also have Weston McKennie and Yunus Musa.
Let's go.
Is that the midfield we were looking for? I didn't think that was going to happen.
I know. He's cap tied. I love it. Yeah.
Yes,
barring some freak injury pre-match, right? Let's fingers crossed. Yeah.
I was so worried too because of the that inconclusive test. He was training to the side, and then obviously negative. So I'm like, is that going to mess up the chemistry or certain sessions that he needs to be involved in? But maybe I was overthinking that. Yeah, Musa.
Yeah, Marcus says Musa. We love it.
That's awesome. So obviously, right, Adams in that 6, and then you have McKennie and Musa. And I think what's important about this midfield, and not to get too off from the lineup again, but I'm just so excited, Austin. The ability for some of these players to drive, dominate the midfield, really play quickly, right? Get the ball transitioning quickly. We, Berhalter expressed how we didn't move the ball enough, in the midfield, whether it's side to side or more direct passes or key passes. And there was just no movement, right? It was too slow going side to side, and defenses could easily shift over. So Musa driving in, being able to, coast through, how smooth he is on the ball, I think could open up a lot of lanes there. And then obviously you have McKennie, right, bombing forward, and the rest of those speedy outside backs. So to beat a low block, we're going to need all of that to work efficiently and get those outside backs, bombing up the field too.
Yeah, and I feel, and I don't know if this is just, my inclination. So I'm curious to hear if, anyone in the comments thinks the same, or even you, Pat. But I really think Jamaica is going to come out and try and just be very physical with us tonight. So I think having a player like Yunus Musa, who's really good at shielding the ball, really good at, like you said, taking the ball upfield, making stuff happen, by himself, I think that's going to be a really big asset in this game. And I'm really excited to see him in the starting lineup. I love it. Yeah, he's cap-tied. Let's go.
Right. How's it going, Ken? Welcome.
Yeah, Ken says, hey guys.
That's definitely exciting. That's definitely exciting. But and again, I guess kind of to end, right? We're seeing our boy Ricardo Pepi. I had a feeling he's on a hot streak. He got to play
2 for 2.
2 for 2. And then it looks like we have Paul Areola and Brendan Aronson. So that's, I guess, what I thought Berhalter might have done. Obviously, we would have preferred to see, there's Weah, right, Hoppe, but I don't know. I'm not surprised. He loves Areola.
Yeah, it's so weird. Areola is playing well at the moment. I think he was in the team of the week for MLS, I think, this past weekend. So he is in good form, or he should be in good form. It just sucks because I don't know. Tim Weah is such a more dynamic player. I don't know. I used to love Paul Areola. Now I've kind of cooled off on him, so I don't want to say the wrong thing about him.
I don't mind him there for the veteran presence and somebody I wouldn't maybe mind for that spark off the bench. I just think with the talent and quality that we have now, he needs to be a little bit farther down the pecking order. No offense, I mean, he's had a great career, but we have a lot of other players, playing at top clubs in Europe, young guys that offer a little bit more, I guess, I don't know if it's the technical side of things, a little bit more clinical, more creative and inventive up there. He's just kind of great, again, kind of someone that can just bomb forward, right? Maybe get behind the line, put a lot of pressure on teams, but I don't know. He just doesn't have that it factor, I guess, to me.
And he lacks a little bit of consistency in the final third, right? Exactly. You saw in that, I think it was the Gold Cup final he played in. It just was, not his game, and he was having a really, really off game. So, hopefully, I don't know, maybe that was a one-off thing. He'll come out and really just, play well and kind of fit right into the mold and be empowered, I guess, by the players around him. Let's just hope that's what happens.
Yeah. And some other comments here, Austin. I guess we'll start with kind of Tim Weah, right? Marcus mentioned there.
Our boy Timo.
Timo, coming off some pretty good games, right? He's in great form, and it's great to see him. I'm knocking on wood right here on the desk. Injury free, he's healthy, he looks happy, just excited to be there. You saw the training videos come out, right, with the U.S. I think he could have very well deserved a start there, and somebody that's going to be really crucial going forward. The way that we've talked about, right, Austin, that he offers a different dimension. He's very intelligent with his runs. He has the effort, right, and obviously the physicality. Now you saw him body off that player, right, for that one highlight and that connection with Jonathan David in the game. But he just offers so much. His speed, his intelligence. Being able to connect. He's such a selfless player too. I think he could have been really great assisting Pepi. I could definitely see a Weah Pepi combination for a goal here in this window.
Well, who is it? Ken here says, got the wrong comment. Weah probably a 85th minute sub. Yeah. Just like Greg Berhalter, right? Waiting till the final minutes of the game.
Classic. Always waiting to the end. And then, just, someone else too, looks like, as we're talking in the attack, right? We have, Marcus here mentioned Conrad, another player that, could have merited, right, to be on this roster. Obviously, it looks like he hasn't playing as much for Marseille. I don't really know. I haven't watched too much recently in the reasoning there, maybe formations or tactics, who's starting over him, but it's tough. especially obviously, right? He loves Zardes, brought him back. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a surprise from my point of view that he wasn't on the roster. He started off the season so hot, looked good, I thought, in the minutes that he played in September, but, just didn't get as much game time in that window. And I think, the other curious decision, Pat, was also PFOC being left off this roster.
Yeah,
player
right.
who's literally in the best form of his life. And I understand we've got, a decent amount of options at striker now, but still, that was a kind of a no-brainer option to bring into camp just based on the form he was in. And, we didn't see him as well. So I think Greg Berhalter just had kind of a different idea of what he wanted this camp, and certain players kind of fit into that. Certain players didn't. So maybe that's the reasoning for Conrad not being in this camp.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Maybe
just my reasoning, I guess.
Yeah, motivate there, but just kind of curious to see how that dynamic works. Again, no knock to Zardes, and I don't want to come off as I'm a anti-Zardes guy, right? I mean, I've had my criticisms in the past, but
at one point everyone was an anti-Zardes guy. So hey,
that's there. But I mean, you can't knock someone, and I think we'll get to Samuel's question there too. But just on the Zardes topic, which Marcus mentioned there, he's been performing pretty well. So I can't really fault him there, right? He's come on, has made a huge difference, right? So yeah, I don't really have a problem with him being kind of that impact sub. But I was really glad to see Pepi get the nod here.
Yeah, I honestly thought Zardes was going to get the nod. So I'm really happy to see him as well. Keep that form going, right? Keep that those good vibes going. He looked perfectly fine in the last game. Didn't look out of his element at all. So I think he should be in this lineup. So it's good to see him.
Before we move over to some other areas right in the game and more on to what to expect, right? Our thoughts and takes in the Jamaica side. I want to bring up Samuel's question and pose it to you.
Okay.
If Reina, right, plays centrally next round of qualifying,
okay,
would you like Weah or Musa on the wing? That's an intriguing question.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I think I don't know. Watching Valencia and watching Musa play on the wing there, I kind of like him more centrally, to be completely honest. I just think he offers a little bit more of that. Like that talent he has of, again, just kind of playing through pressure, receiving the ball in the half turn and kind of moving upfield with it. Obviously you can do that on the right wing, but I don't know. I kind of think Tim Weah fits that position a little bit better. And, I think Musa, I don't know. I think Musa can do it. I just like Weah maybe a little bit more there. So, yeah.
I agree with you. Even Greg said, I think Valencia has been playing him on the wing, but we like him centrally. I like what we've seen too with the national team. And again, something that I'm just reading into, right? For him to come back in, getting some game time now in camp and just right into the starting lineup makes me think some great things have been happening in training. With that too, like you said, Weah is just so good out there on the flank. And then Reina too, essentially there with Dortmund, and hopefully, he's almost back to his fully healthy self, right, soon. I think it'd be really fun to even one day see like a Reina Musa type of combination there, interchange. I think that could be intriguing too as a potential midfield.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. And obviously that would probably mean we had an injury or just a rotation of the squad with no McKinney. But
right.
No, I think that would be really interesting. I think those are really two talented players. Again, they have some of that similar, ability to just take the ball in and just, take first time balls just so well, right? Like just their first touch is so great, and being able to advance the ball up the field and create for other players. That's, something that they both do pretty well. So yeah, seeing them work together in the midfield would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely really would, Austin.
We have a great question here from Zach Embry. So he says, not sure how much you guys watch MLS, but how would Pamikal be as a left back solution long term? So really interesting. I think Paxton Pamikal is a really talented player.
He had a horrific injury.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like he's kind of taken a little bit of time to come back. I've watched most of the FC Dallas games this year, and I thought he's looked good, but he hasn't looked like spectacular, which I think is fine. I think he's definitely a capable player. And having him as a left back would be really interesting. I'm trying to think how that fits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And again,
it'd
I
be
don't want to
interesting.
say, yeah,
He's a scrappy player, workman-like player,
exactly.
with some technique. So yeah, I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, and just quickly that
Yeah.
Austin with the injury too, and yeah, it's something just again maybe not back to his old self, which is completely understandable. Maybe it's still building up over time, and the examples we've seen, right, kind of Weah with some brutal back-to-back injuries or certain things where he kind of looked off pace at first, but again, I'm not sure from Dallas or medical staff or things like that, right? Any news on how if that's fully healed or what the situation is with Pamukol, but. Yeah, it just seems like something is a little bit off. Like he's not in full gear yet. I don't know. That's just the feeling I get.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's okay. I think he's fully healthy.
He's okay.
Yeah, I think he's fully healthy. I don't know. I think that would be a really interesting solution, Zach. And
Yeah.
hopefully Anthony Robinson, plays well again this camp. I felt like he ended the camp on a strong, on a high, obviously against Honduras, scoring that goal to get us back into the game and playing well, in that game. So yeah, hopefully, I guess we don't have to look at him as an option, but yeah, would be something that's
Yeah.
definitely something to keep an eye out for. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
So,
question. Yeah,
yeah, great question. So what do you say we move on to, and want to get your take too? Austin, do you want to maybe start with
sure.
Jamaica? You want to start with the US? Maybe, things that we think now that we know the lineup, right? Maybe some key factors, areas like that, or again, we can kind of dive into Jamaica and their issues, right? And missing players. So multiple ways we could go.
Yeah, maybe let's take a look at Jamaica and
Yeah.
see, because you're our resident Jamaican expert, Pat.
Where's
So
my guys?
you can't show
Maybe
it tonight.
I'll just wear it
Oh,
if we live now. I'm not supporting them, guys. I'm not supporting them, but they do have some pretty awesome jerseys, and definitely want to kick their butts tonight, get a few goals, but hopefully I don't have to wear that. Yeah, so I guess going right into Jamaica, right? We'll start with some of their key attackers that are missing, right? For various reasons, a myriad of reasons, but obviously they have made quite the connection, right, Austin, with some of their players that are dual Nats and English-based players there. So it looks like Antonio, the West Ham guy, is unfortunately not part of the team here this time around. He's somebody, I don't think he had the best game in the last window. It was kind of a mess and shambles. Obviously, didn't get great service, but somebody that is playing pretty well in the Premier League and someone that's always a threat, right? With West Ham. So that's definitely a big loss. And then obviously Leon Bailey really hasn't seen much time with Jamaica and it seems like for a long time. So obviously some of their most important attackers, and you could argue for our side too, are out.
yeah, I think it sucks for them. Yeah, it's brutal, but we kind of know it with Christian Pulisic out, right? And Gio Reyna, we kind of know that feeling, but yeah, it definitely seems like it's a little worse on their end. Yeah, they're definitely banged up, and that really is just what leads me to suggest they're going to kind of play more aggressive tonight. They're going to be very scrappy. They're going to look to play very physical, CONCACAF-y, one would say, right, Pat? And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, we just got to be ready for that. And I think what Ken P here says is so true, right? Number one is always who the CONCACAF ref is and how he wants to call / non-call this game.
Yeah, it'll be kind of
Yeah.
curious to see, right? And I feel like we just have a lot of great players, especially in the midfield, that's up to that challenge in the battle, right? Physicality, I think we could easily win that midfield. But yeah, I mean, even some of the other players that they're missing, right, Austin? I think is it Pinnock? I think one of their
Ethan Pinnock. Yep.
promising players there, and yeah, they're just kind of in chaos and really had a pretty poor window. So obviously it's a tough situation, right? I agree. They're going to come out physical, right? Obviously they're going to want to win the game, But if I had to guess, I think they're going to, sit in that low block, maybe that Canada type of style where they're just going to counter, right, with their speed, sit back, obviously play us physical when, we come to that line of confrontation, you could say, right, when we get closer into their final third in the attack. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just my sense. Like if I'm in Jamaica, right, we have a better shot at winning the second and third games than this one. Maybe take a tie, 0-0 draw, or a quick counter for a goal, and then just completely park the bus. I don't know. I don't see them coming full press.
Yeah, I think they're gonna sit back, and like you said, kind of take that Canada approach. Really, just try and make us work for all the all the attacks we can get. And I don't know. I think it's going to be a very kind of gridlock game. I don't think we're going to get too many chances right off the bat, and I think we're really going to have to work to kind of break down Jamaica. Use a lot of quick passing, quick movement, right? Kind of some 1-2s in and around the final third and things like that to kind of get players open and get open looks at goal. But what really excites me, Pat, is having Ricardo Pepi up there, right? That's what Ricardo Pepi does. He's someone that combines with players, can get forward, makes intelligent runs. He's always in and around the box when crosses come in. So I think we have the players tonight to kind of break down Jamaica, and it should be a game that's tough, but definitely manageable for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And before kind of going into some topics and sifting through, we're getting some good questions in here, right? So, Ken mentioned there who's going to take our set pieces. So yeah, I mean, definitely want to.
Good question.
You, Austin. That's a good question, but I also kind of had this prediction. I was thinking about this earlier that part of the set pieces, right? I am going to predict one of the goals here. One of the goals is going to be off a set piece, McKennie header. I think he's going to be a huge threat there. We've seen it before, and that's just a guess, but I know that doesn't completely answer the question, Ken.
Yeah, definitely. McKennie's been known to score off a header once or twice in the past, right? I think to take set pieces tonight, it's a really interesting situation, right? We have no Sebastian Lletget on the field, no Christian Pulisic, no Gio Reyna. I think it would either be Brendan Aronson or Serginho Dest, maybe. Those are kind of the two players that stick out in my mind.
Obviously, we've seen Aronson and Salzburg do some of that, right?
A little bit. Yeah. I feel like we've seen him from time to time do it. I just can't really pinpoint if it was for the US or if it was for Salzburg. Yeah. Even in his time at the Union, maybe he took some free kicks. It's been a little while now, so I can't really remember. But I would probably say those two players can. I can't see Musa doing it. Can't see McKennie doing it. No. For obvious reasons. Ricardo Pepi. I don't see Paul Areola doing it. Maybe. But definitely it should be a game-changing part of our tactics, right? Like set pieces are something we thrive at. And especially over the summer, right? Like we won a Nations League, basically, off set pieces, right? And we won the Gold Cup basically off set pieces, and actually off set pieces in the Gold Cup. So, we should be, looking to score on all those attacks. Walker Zimmerman's a great person who scores off head.
He is also
set pieces with headers. Right. Same with Miles Robinson, Wes McKennie. So we should be up for the challenge.
Definitely, and another one here from Zach.
Okay.
I have to check the FIFA rankings, right? Number 13, but he says, do you think it's an accurate representation of the USMNT's level? And if not, where should we rank? And I think, again, high level, definitely loaded, solid question, but many factors into that. I'll say just kind of a blanket statement. I think I'm okay with it. I don't think we're quite yet in the top 10 yet. So I think what was that initial point when we were kind of in there, right? Pretty early on, maybe 10 or higher. That was definitely inflated there in my opinion. So I think kind of in that 13 to 18 wheelhouse is something that I would be okay with.
So I'm going to pitch this to you, Pat.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'll have you guess. Who's number 14 right now in men's rankings? Men's FIFA rankings.
Can I get a hint? CONCACAF?
Not CONCACAF.
14. Is it Switzerland?
No, they're 15th, but good guess.
Oh man.
It's Germany. So we're one spot above Germany. Obviously, Germany hasn't had the best
I don't think they're that
time here
good.
recently.
I don't know soccer that well. I don't think Germany's that good.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I agree with you, Pat. Looking at these teams that are listed right here, obviously it's a little, FIFA rankings aren't necessarily the most accurate thing, right? Out there. They're not the most accurate prediction. But I think based on the other teams, around us right now with that 13 ranking, I think it's fair, to be completely honest. I think, like you said, Pat, 13 to 18. I think we're on the cusp of, actually breaking into the top 10 and being a top 10 team in the world. We just need some more consistency. We need a little bit more depth, right? We need, some more players to maybe move to some top clubs and get some more Champions League minutes, right? We need those Champions League minutes numbers to go up, and
maybe some friendlies, right? Or games, more competition sprinkled in if we can get in the obviously, playing again, the Copa
some
America
other tournaments,
South American teams,
or like the Olympics, maybe.
Yeah, like the Olympics, but yeah, some other friendlies, right, against high quality teams there, I think would be beneficial. But yeah, I agree, Austin, because I'm thinking like just now where we are, to thinking how we played against that friendly in Switzerland, right, and just seemed pretty brutal. I think if we had that game right now, it would be a completely different result. Maybe not drastically, but I don't think it's anywhere what it was in the past when we were higher up in that FIFA ranking playing Switzerland right in that friendly.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think, I think I agree with all that. I think if we play some better teams, it'll help us in the long run, and obviously it would also help our FIFA ranking. But we're getting there, right? Right, Pat?
Yeah.
Gotta take the comment down to show the shirt, right? Because that's what we're here for.
Your bust.
So
you gotta go to the merch store, guys. They're putting out some great designs. Awesome. You got the creative juices flowing there. But one more question, right? Looks like Ben's mentioned Ariola's in the lineup there. Critical to his technical skill, right? He seems a good match for this, since he's high intensity pressing player. Something we lacked right in other games outside of Aaronson's. So I can see that point. Again, somebody that for reasons, right, that we think maybe he doesn't offer maybe some of that technical or creativity side, or obviously you saw some of the finishing, right, I think in that Mexico game. But he does have that CONCACAF toughness, that veteran grip. I think he was just somebody in and around camp that's good to have in that presence. I feel like he's a very respected guy, just in and around the US and MLS. Sure. And I don't hate it at all. Obviously, I have my preferences for starting, but somebody I think that should be in camp moving forward.
You think Ariola should be in camp going forward?
Yeah, I don't see it. Right? Yeah, I mean, unless again we have some other players knock out. I don't see him being like. I don't mind him, I should say, being kind of like a Ream-esque type of person.
Oh no, you're gonna get hate for that.
I'm gonna get hate for that. But I don't like. I would rather him be in that position and that locker room leader as opposed to Ream. I would just scrap Ream completely. But I don't know. I'm not completely off Ariola's way. I'm like hanging on. Maybe I could just drop off the wagon completely, but I'm kind of hanging on a little bit.
You're hanging on to Ariola. Yeah. Oh boy. I love
fair.
It. Oh boy.
Let me up in the comments, guys. What's your take? What's your take, Austin?
I don't know. I think if we're fully healthy, I think there's several players over him right now. Right? there's Matt Hoppe. There's Matt Hoppe who could play outside. Brendan Aronson can play on the right. Tim Weah, Gio Reyna, even Yunus Musa in a pinch. I don't know. I agree with you, Pat. I think he brings something a little bit different. I think he brings that more like, workman-like, mentality, someone who's there to fight for the team, where some other players maybe are, more individualistic and things like that. So, I don't know. I think he's definitely on the cusp. I think if we're full strength, though, I don't think he should be in this roster. Fair. And I think with Jordan Morris back too, and maybe I'll get some hate for this, but I think Jordan Morris is a player that needs to be in this team a little bit more than Paul Ariola. And I think he's obviously more a striker, but he can play on the wings, and is a player that's got, a lot more accolades, things like that to kind of draw from. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at.
I'm saving myself here, Austin, with Ben's other comment. somebody again maybe comes on 89th, 90th minute, whatever, just throw them on for some high pressing at the end if we need something. But or just in camp, maybe you can just transition right into like an assistant coach type of thing. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, as Ken mentioned too, and just as a starter there, yeah, I don't know. I know Greg has his favorites though, but yeah, I don't know about starting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not starter.
But
yeah, we'll start it tonight. So hey.
Yeah. So awesome with that, right? I know we're kind of shuffling around here. I guess I want to get your thoughts, right? Any key takeaways, right, or keys to success that the U.S. has to have? We know the lineup's out, right? We've been hearing all the rumors and the buzz up into it. Like, what do you think we need to do to break down whatever Jamaica's going to throw at us?
So I think we got to come out and play together, right? We saw that in some of the games in the last camp. I think it was the first game against El Salvador. We came out, played together. Obviously, we didn't get the result in that game, but we looked pretty good. I think, maybe it was against Canada as well. We came out pretty well, and maybe it was against Canada and not El Salvador, but whatever. I'm sorry, I'm mixing my games up. But basically, I think we just need to come out, have faith, right? Have trust in the team, and really just, be ready for a battle tonight. And I think that's the biggest thing, coming in with an understanding that this game is going to be tough, not coming in thinking we're going to win this game because Jamaica's, down certain players and that, we're automatically better because we have players who play, more players who play in Europe over Jamaica. Like, that's not going to be the case. So I think if we just come in with the right attitude, right mindset, and kind of, start the game.
The fans there, Austin.
Yeah, crowd noise. It is a home game. Yeah, that can't be understated. So, yeah, I think just coming in with the right mindset is the biggest key to the game, right? We can do all the little things, right? We can do all the, make all the perfect runs, things like that. But it really starts with just the mentality and having that mentality to fight tonight in battle.
Yeah. I completely agree. And to piggyback, I think it was Adams or maybe it was someone else. Correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously maybe you could see naive, right, in that first window, what to expect. Like, we're going to be fine. We're going to totally get all the points here. And then obviously, what happens. But it looks like now they're taking it more game by game, right? Not just, it's the 3 games. We got to win all these. It's more of that game by game mentality, I think the group seems to have. And now after going through that first window, I think they're being, again, having that success and confidence and just working hard in training, but also now kind of understanding, right? Now they had that first taste and they went back to their clubs and now they, some of these younger players, right, know what to expect. So, yeah, I think it's going to be, really interesting, how we come out. Obviously, Greg, right, has mentioned we want to move the ball quicker in midfield. Verticality, right? We've heard that a million times.
Verticality.
I don't want to hear that word again. But no, I mean, we do have to get more chances, right? Shots on goal, get people behind the back lines. And I think there's going to be a lot more intent and purpose with this camp. Obviously, we are missing some of our crucial players, right? But at the same time, I think they're going to be up for the challenge. And maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes are going to be chaotic, but once we settle in, I think we're going to eventually be able to break that low block there. So I think moving the ball quickly was one of my key takeaway or point here. Not being so slow, 2, 3, 4 touches to allow them to shift back, but moving it quickly, getting Anthony and Dest up there in the attack. Both those players have been pretty good form, and then obviously, feeding it to maybe Pepi for a few goals.
Yeah, and hopefully Matt Turner is on his game tonight too, right? Like, needs to be aware of any counters, things like that. I feel like you said, we're going to get Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest up the field, so we need Walker Zimmerman, Miles Robinson, and Matt Turner to be ready to go to kind of get called into action in minutes notice. So yeah, I kind of want to go back to this one question here, and then I think we're going to start looking at the predictions for tonight, right? But there was a question that I think Sam brought up here. If we see a 2-striker formation, do you think Hoppe and Pepi can complement each other? I don't think Greg Berhalter would do it. So I'm curious, Pat, what do you think? Do you think Hoppe and Pepi could play together in a 2-strikers, formation, maybe a 3-5-2? Maybe if we switched it up and did something drastically different, like a 4-4-2. Do you think this partnership would work, the strike partnership?
Yeah, that's interesting. I wish I could give more, definitive, right? If it could work, I would have to see a little bit more, with my eyes, but I don't see why not. I agree. He's probably not going to do it. It seems like he really thinks Hoppe is, from the men's national team perspective, out in the wing, but maybe there's been some change, right? In Mallorca and getting some good praise there. I don't know. I was almost thinking more maybe even to see a Pepi and then maybe Weah underneath or anything
Oh,
like
okay.
that. It seems like
Like what we
Weah could
saw
play
over the
that thing.
weekend
Exactly, like
at
we saw over
Lille.
the
Yeah.
weekend, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it, Samuel, but what's your take, Austin?
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know. They seem very similar in nature, right? Like Ricardo Pepi is definitely more of a poacher than Matt Hoppe, but both can kind of, they're both mobile, right? They can kind of get up and down the field, come back, combine.
Hoppe
Obviously
plays some
Ricardo
really good
Pepi.
balls in from the wing too, which I've noticed with the US, like finding those pockets of space or just those crosses over top. He has pretty good vision.
Yeah, he does, and he can also take on players too,
Yeah.
right? So maybe they work in tandem in the sense that he can take on a player in the box and have someone as an outlet to, cross the ball into or just, make a nice final pass inside the box. And maybe that's the relationship. Pepi can, or sorry, Hoppe can play off Pepi if we, kick it long. Pepi can hold it up and use, Hoppe and his pace to kind of blow by a defender and get out on the counter, things like that. I think there's promise there. The more I talk about it, the more like options come up in my mind around that
Yeah.
partnership. So
It's great to have this
yeah,
depth,
I think
right?
it's
These
yeah,
possibilities. But I'm gonna bring up a question here, Austin.
sure, yeah, great
We're
question,
talking
Sam.
about the attack, right? With FIFA freestyle there. What's going on? But uh, obviously he's an FC Dallas fan, and he's stag seeing Pepi playing. But what do you think? He scores tonight?
Ooh, this is a great tie-in to what we want to get to here,
Put some
and
money down, Austin.
I'm gonna go yes, right? Got to go 2 for 2. I don't know. I think he'll score. I'll go conservative. I think he'll score 1 goal tonight.
Okay, I like it. I think he's gonna score. Texas, right?
Oh
He's
yeah, true.
playing in Texas, obviously not Dallas, but yeah, I just have a good feeling about it. I think, and again, I don't want to get too far ahead, right? But if I guess I'm giving away my prediction, but I think it's going to be a Pepi and then a McKennie header off a set piece and maybe a 2-0 win.
Ooh, okay.
I definitely think Pepi's going to put one in tonight and be a major impact here. So yeah, I think he's going to get a great run. I'm curious to see how the game goes, right? Maybe, obviously, want him the full 90, but depending on how things go, I unfortunately think we might see a Zardes sub. I don't know. Greg likes to do that.
I wouldn't hate it. We
Yeah.
have barely, any strikers in this
Right.
camp. I wouldn't hate that, but I do want to see Pepi play,
Right.
a good amount. So
Yeah,
so I
absolutely.
guess should we pitch it to the comments, right? Like, what are your guys' scoreline predictions for tonight? I know,
Yeah.
Pat, you just said 2-0. I think
What do you think?
I'll go 3-1. I think Jamaica will scrap and get a goal, maybe on a counter. But I think we'll score. I think Pepi will score. I'm gonna say Musa scores. I think Musa's gonna just get forward, kind
Oh,
of a la Joe Scally, right? Get in behind
yeah,
the
you're going
defense,
goals, goals,
maybe.
goals. I like it.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have another player up top, maybe Brendan
Okay.
Aronson.
Looks like a
Brendan
lot of
Aronson will score.
the fans here agree too. With Ben and Ken both have 3.
Okay, yeah, I see Ben says
Oh,
3-1.
oh, a 6. I like it. I like
Ken
the
says
optimism.
3-0. All
Pretty
right,
confident.
like that. FIFA Freestyler here says last time he played in Austin against Austin FC, he scored twice.
Ooh,
So go Pepi, that's
boy,
true.
okay.
And yeah, he says he's going 2-1. So, and then yeah, we have Zach Embry. All right, good deal. He says, call me crazy. 6-0, massive showing from the USA. I
I
love
think
it.
regardless, right? 1-0, 2-0, right? 3-1, 3-0. I just feel really good about it, Austin. I feel like again we're missing some crucial players, right? Excuse me, but
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like they're ready, right? They have that mentality. I think they know what's expected, right? I just feel really good, and they're going to need to and want to get off to a really good start. So if we win 2-0, 3-0, things like that, right? And head into Panama, the confidence will be pretty high. So I would be much more worried, right, moving forward if we have not the best result, right, not to jinx us, right, against Jamaica and then heading to Panama away. That's where I could see maybe a draw coming. But if we head into momentum hot, get the goals here, get everyone's confidence high, there's no reason we shouldn't get 9 points.
Yeah, yeah, and I think tonight we just gotta set the tone for the window. Yeah, 9 points should definitely be our that should be our goal in this window.
Yeah.
And yeah, we should definitely get 3 points tonight. Like this is a banged up Jamaica team. This is a team that we need to be serious contenders, not just in CONCACAF, but in the world, on the world stage of football. Right, we're gonna face teams harder than this. Maybe the conditions make it a little bit tougher. Tonight we're at home, so that really isn't a something that we can say, right? That's not an excuse anymore. So no, I think we need 3 points tonight, and yeah, I think our boys got to do it, right?
We believe.
Gotta have faith in our boys. Yeah.
Quick, Austin. Quick. One last thing.
Sure.
With that, right? With the predictions.
Yeah.
I want to get the fans' takes and yours, right?
Okay.
I'm going to put it here. Who is your man of the match tonight? What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think? Obviously, there's Pepi, right? A lot of people are favoring him up top, but we have Musa in there, McKennie back in the lineup. You have Adams captaining. Excuse me. There's a lot of players you could choose from, so definitely want to hear from you all. And toss it to you first, Austin. Put you on the spot there.
Now, I didn't say he was going to score, so maybe I'm foolish in saying this, but I feel like it's just things are setting up, right? It's been quiet leading up to the game. He's got motivation underneath him, right? I'm going Wes McKennie.
Okay.
I think he's going to come out strong tonight. I think he's going to have something to prove, and I think he's going to just have that, like Ben here says, that comeback game. So.
Yeah, that's right. Put that up, and then I think I like the selection there. I think he has a lot. Right, again, another Texas lad, right?
True, another Dallas boy.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny there, but yeah, he has a lot to prove there, and I think off the field, right, we don't know what's going on right behind, but on the field, if he's putting in that effort, right, he's focused, he's sharp. That's definitely going to be a huge motivator for him. But also, it looks like FIFA Freestyler said Matt Turner crazy saves. I like it. I'm a big Matt Turner fan, and I don't really mind him starting in Stefan, right? I mean, we've seen more of Matt. He's on a streak, right? He's getting game time. I don't know what's going to happen, right? It's another. We'll cover on the weekly reports, right? With Stefan, who knows what's going on there, Man City, and but. I think, I guess, with my pick, Austin, I was going to quickly think, I think man of the match. I'm going to be a little bit, bold up top there and say it's going to be Ricardo Pepi. I think he's going to continue the form there. Lots of them Dallas boys, Steve mentioned. But yeah, I think Pepi's going to have a huge night. He's going to be hungry and motivated to continue the form. A lot of rumors in Europe circulating around him, swirling around.
True. And, Love that Ajax one.
So invest. Put some money down on Pepi.
Yeah, Sam says here, Ariola scores to our frustration and delight. I love it. Oh, my goodness.
That's awesome.
And FIFA says, lots of them Dallas boys. Yeah, there is a lot. Yeah.
And quick question here, too, I guess, with it, right? Zach mentioned biggest surprise this window.
Ooh, okay.
So
yeah, that's a good question.
That's a very good question.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll say I'm gonna go Yunus Musa. I think Yunus is gonna step up in this game. I think he's gonna be someone that plays up to the level where we're ready to see him play at, and really just makes a difference, right? He's gonna take on the creative responsibility tonight. Like he's going to be there with McKennie trying to pull the strings. And I really think that, he's going to do his best job tonight. So yeah,
we got a mascot there, Austin. Team mascot.
Yeah. Arnold's here.
Arnold. Get him in the camera now. But I'm going to go surprise here. A little curveball with, I think Luca De La Torre is going to be a surprise.
Ooh.
I was just going through, I think Moose is right there too, but I think De La Torre's got a lot to prove. He put out, right. He's video editing now. He's picked up a few additional skills.
Adding to that LinkedIn resume, right?
LinkedIn resume, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I just think he might make some, features here off the bench, and obviously with the heavy rotation. Again, I don't know if a start's in play, but I think he's going to be a surprise. The editor. I think he's going to be a surprise impact here. We've seen it before, right? Where he's come off the bench and provides that high intensity, can make things happen. Line breaking passes, offers a different take there, different slant, I guess, with his playing style. So I like it. I think he deserved the call up, and I'm excited to see what he can prove.
Yeah, and I think he's motivated too, right? Like he's really been wanting this opportunity with the men's national team. So I think he's gonna, when he gets his chance, and I think he's gonna get his chance this camp, I think he's gonna take it. And yeah, I think that's a really, really smart pick, Pat. I think he's a player that could really surprise us and be a valuable addition to this team going forward. And if not, in that first team squad, right? Like maybe he's not in the first 23, but he's in that,
right.
Next 5 players, someone who can be called up in these camps where we play 3 games in, 7 days and be that player that can kind of rotate in and provide meaningful minutes. So, yeah.
Awesome. It looks like there's some Aronson love, which I completely agree with here. So,
okay.
FIFA freestyler there has a good feeling, and then with Zach as well, and Ben. I like that.
Aronson's produced so much for us in his game time. Yeah, Ben says Aronson's a baller. I love it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And
my phone's going nuts because of all the foot mob notifications.
Oh my god!
for the starters.
Gotta turn my notifications back on for that. But
yeah, it's 16 notifications. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think he's somebody again that could be a man of the match. There's no reason why not. And obviously, with Pulisic and Reina out and seeing kind of more of the ball there, I think he could really be somebody that's called upon to make a huge impact.
Yeah, I love what he brings. Like Brennan Aronson's one of my favorite players. Just for that, he just plays with such passion, right? And he's very quick in his thoughts and quick to attack, quick to press, and I don't know. I just love that play style. So yeah,
I couldn't agree more. He just has a fun way of playing and just a hustler. And he's tough out there and scrappy. So kind of has a little bit of CONCACAF, right? That toughness, but also that European technical side of things, that you're seeing develop over there in Salzburg. So the sky's the limit for him. I can't wait to see where he goes next.
Yeah, FIFA Freestyler also said he always looks like he goes all out for us, and I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very true.
Very true. Very true.
All right. Well, we're getting down to game time here. I think we got about 7 minutes or so on the clock, 6 minutes maybe. So, I think we're gonna kind of bring this, to an end here. You got anything else to add? Any other questions anyone has that are pressing that they'd like to, get out there in the comments that we can talk about.
Get out before the hype, but it's just exciting, right? The environment. They seem like they've done a lot of pre-game things, right? You saw Casey Keller, different tailgates and hype going around the game. They're really pushing this. Awesome. It looks like it's going to be a fun crowd too. So I'm excited to check that out. Hear the anthem, right? USA. I like.
Just don't get too close to it, right? We don't want to hear it that close. As the what was it, the El Salvador game?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some harsh critiquing of the the singing ability of our men's national team.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, we appreciate everyone here tuning in here, and make sure to like the video too. And we're definitely going to continue this moving forward, as we continue on this journey, right? I'm excited, sharing the excitement with you all. Get hyped around our guys, just talk about the good, the bad, the everything, right? So I'm really excited to continue doing this.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to be able to do one on Sunday after the game, after the Panama game, or even before. So, our apologies on that. We just aren't able to really do anything before and after the game. But we'll try and, watch the game at least and, posts on social media, stuff like that. But
we'll be back for the third game. We'll be back for the third game, guys. So if there's anything crazy, right, that happens, we'll do we'll do post, whatever, but we'll be ready for that final game in the window too.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Let's just hope we get off to a good start tonight. I know I keep saying it, but speak it into existence, right, Pat?
That's what you have to do. You got to be confident, Austin, because as you always say, one day we're going to win that World Cup.
Hey, man, read the shirt. Read the shirt. 2026 or bust.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining tonight. And let's go watch the boys play.
Let's do it.
All right. See you guys later.